Okay, so number one, generally when humans as a biological and physiological factor, which leads to psychological discussion, when we start to talk about how we come to develop our skill or how we reach a point of mastery, humans by science, feeling is a sensory perception, right? It's a sensory organ. So to feel something, we had to get a sensation. Okay, so we had to receive it, absorb it. To think about something or respond to this feeling or understand this feeling, we issue motor commands, all right? So motor commands come from various regions of the brain to issue various thoughts for various parts of the body. Okay, it gets really deep into the science fact of behaviorism, but we are talking about humanistic psychology. Starts with the feeling. So that first feeling that we have about something, in our case for today, we're going to relate it to some type of skill development, okay? So we have a feeling that we really want to be able to accomplish something. We want to be good at something. We feel like, we need to do this for ourselves or another, whatever it is. So we have this feeling. Now the feeling causes us to think, because now that we have the feeling that we know we want to do this, we want to master this, but we don't know how to do it. So we're trying to think our way into what can I do to create a system to give me the feeling of accomplishment that I'm looking to achieve. All right? So we start with a feeling, and then we begin thinking about ways to satisfy that feeling. Okay, the next step in the process will be knowledge. All right, so as we feel the sensory perception, and then we start to think, we start to issue motor commands or determine what it is that we could possibly do. We start to select the paths, outline the choices. In our case, with Madzook and assisting you in this process, this will be the stage that we start to discover the questions. What questions can we ask to help us determine to what extent we want this feeling to be gratiated or satisfied, or improved or enhanced? So at the end of the day, you're going to need knowledge, all right? So once we get together on the knowledge and we do some research, we read, some of the surface level dwellers will, which is a great tool, don't get me wrong, but you'll inherently go to Google and do a Google search. So you may get some truth, you may get the most paid for advertising. Generally, you're going to get a combination of both with that, but if you can get with a real practitioner that can also get you detailed research, you're going to gain the knowledge you need. So now we have tamed the knowledge. So now we have conducted research, we've found the right questions to ask, we've done the 1+1 and what ingredients go to the soup, and we now know the knowledge. We know it, all right? But how, we know what we're thinking. We gain the knowledge based on what we're thinking to achieve the feeling. But now we have to understand the knowledge, okay? If we don't understand what the knowledge actually means, someone could read Plato to you all day long. If you don't understand the allegory of the cave and what the meaning of it was, then exactly what good did that knowledge do you? You found out that Plato wrote a book, and you found out that it was about a cave, and you found out that there was a few guys in this cave. There's not much else you're going to find out about that unless you understand the meaning, the context of that knowledge. So now is where we apply the physicality to the mentality. Thus far, we've been using mental skills. We've had feelings, which is actually an affective skill. And so then we've had thoughts, we've had knowledge acquisition, okay? So now we're going to transfer a little bit. We still need our mental skills, but we're going to transfer a little bit into the physicality of it because now we have to practice. Now we have to actually issue the motor commands to accomplish applying the knowledge that we understand towards the thoughts that we're thinking to get the feelings we want to accomplish, okay? So the next step in the process is practice. And there's an old saying out there, practice makes perfect. And I think some of you know the correction. Perfect practice makes perfect. Now, perfection sometimes has a perception of being unattainable or causing stressors to people, specifically higher performers. You get obsessed with this perfection. So we're not actually looking for perfection. When I say to you, perfect practice makes perfect, It's not that we're looking for perfect. We're trying to make sure that our practice methods, even the mistakes that we make, contribute to the betterment of how we process and use the understanding of the knowledge that we've had for the specific skill development, for our personal development and our personal environment or personal situation. All right, so how we do this, we're not trying to get perfection, we're trying to get expertise, all right? So there's many experts in many subjects that aren't perfect, all right? In sports, there's never a perfect pitch, but there's a pitch that an expert can throw, all right? So once we become the expert, we've developed this expertise, and we've done so by practicing our understanding of the knowledge that we acquired by thinking about what the feeling is that we need to accomplish. Okay, so once we've taken all of these steps in this hierarchy process, then we're going to, now as experts, we want to continually become masters, all right? So now is where the self-mastery, that top level of the pyramid, whoop, that's where we hit this. Self-mastery means that we're not only able to do it more times than not, but we're also able to instruct it. We're able to teach someone else how to do it. We're able to identify ways or methods that can correct someone else to reach their own mastery, all right? So when you look for a life coach or you look for a mentor, look past just a baseline certification and try to get with a psychology practitioner. You'll notice the difference because they have mastered their craft. All right, so to summarize the hierarchy, we have the feeling comes first. The thought or the thinking comes second. The knowledge, number 3. The understanding, number 4. The practice, number 6. The expertise, number 7. And the mastery is the 8th and final step of all skill development. Be sure to check out www.madzook.com. Go to the purchase button at the top right of the page and select any coaching option that you feel might be good for you. There's various pricing, various options. We also offer private education in certain subjects that we could help with your children or even adult learners in foreign countries, and we are happy to help you. So make sure you reach out and contact us. Have a great day.